read it. So this might be my last post. And yeah, I know how that sounds, like I'm trying way too hard to sound dramatic. But if you read this all the way through, I think you'll understand why I'm freaking out right now. My hands are still shaking as I type this. I've never really posted to r/nosleep before, just been a lurker, you know. Reading other people's stories, always assuming they were fake. Just good writing. But this is real. This happened to me. Let me rewind a bit. So it all started with this Twitch stream. I'm a huge fan of this guy, goes by at V1RU5Live. He's one of those streamers that doesn't just play games, but dives into creepy internet rabbit holes, like deep web videos, cursed TikToks, that kind of stuff. His fan base is wild, super into conspiracy theories and ARGs and messed up horror content. Anyway, one night he was doing a dark web roulette stream, which is exactly what it sounds like. He had this .onion browser set up and would click on sketchy links people sent in through chat. I don't know what made me do it, but I sent him this random link I found a few weeks earlier in a Reddit thread called R Backdoor to Reality. It was just a bunch of people trading deep websites, like a darker version of r/internet mysteries. The link I sent wasn't like a normal deep website though. It was just a string of numbers and letters, no context, just V17 exit node F1L3S.onion/viewpoint. When he clicked it, the screen glitched for a second, like actual static came through his stream. Then it loaded this black web page with nothing but a single line of text. You've been chosen, check your email in 3 minutes. And then it just shut down, like his stream crashed, just went dead silent, no warning, no buffering, just gone. People in the chat were spamming LMAO rip and he's hacked and all that, but no one knew what was actually going on. I figured it was just some interactive ARG thing. But then something happened that made my stomach drop. I got an email. And not just any email, it was from an address that was literally just a blinking underscore, like _@_onion subject line. You sent the key, come find us. And inside the email was a Google Maps pin, dead ass, just a link to a real ass location, somewhere on the outskirts of a town near me, about 45 minutes away. It was just marked Site 17 Observe. Now here's where I was dumb, like real dumb. I wish I could say I was drunk or high or whatever, but nah. I was just bored, curious, and probably watching too much horror content at 2 a.m. I decided I was gonna go, like an idiot. I threw on a hoodie, grabbed my GoPro, figured I'd make a YouTube vid out of it or something, and got in my car. I texted my friend Kyle the location and just said, if I go missing, this is why LOL. Classic horror movie line, right? Little did I know, I'd basically written my own eulogy. The drive there was eerie. I was on the I-95 for a while, then veered off into this industrial area full of abandoned warehouses. The pin led me to this huge, rusted-out building that looked like it used to be a meat processing plant or something. There was no sign, no name, just old graffiti and boards covering broken windows. The only light came from this flickering street lamp about 50 feet away. The building itself looked wrong. I don't even know how to explain it. It wasn't just abandoned. It felt like the air around it was dead, like sound didn't travel right near it. I parked a little down the street, not trying to draw attention, and walked up to the front entrance. One of the wooden boards had been ripped off the door, just barely enough for someone to squeeze through. And inside, darkness. Heavy, cold darkness. The kind that feels like it's watching you. I turned on my flashlight and started recording. I swear, even though I knew I was alone, it already felt like I wasn't. The walls inside were covered in this weird, I don't know, paint. It looked like melted plastic or rubber, streaked along the concrete in long vertical lines like someone had tried to burn the walls but only halfway finished. And the smell? It was like burnt hair mixed with gasoline. As I moved deeper inside, I noticed something on the floor scattered all around. Not garbage, not equipment. Phones, dozens of them. Some were shattered, others still had cracked screens lighting up with low battery warnings. I even recognized one of them. I'm not even kidding. It had a V1RU 5 Live sticker on the back. That's when I started freaking out. I thought, is this where that dude went? Did he actually come here too? But I kept going. I couldn't stop. I felt like something was pulling me forward. Eventually, I came to a wide room. Looked like it used to be some kind of break area. There were folding chairs stacked in the corner, a moldy Starbucks cup on the floor, and an old vending machine tipped over, glass shattered. But what stood out was the wall in the back. It had a massive mirror bolted into it, like from floor to ceiling, and written across it in something dark, blood paint, I don't even know, was, "The camera sees what the eye cannot." And beneath that there was a small blinking red light, like from a security camera, hidden in the corner of the mirror. I swear it moved like it was following me. That's when I heard it. The door slammed behind me. I ran back, full speed, but it was too late. The entrance I'd crawled through, gone, like actually sealed up. No boards, no hole, just solid wall. I started hyperventilating, screaming. I don't even know how long I was hitting that wall. My fists were bleeding. Then the fire alarms went off, but not like normal fire alarms. These sounded distorted, glitched out, like someone had recorded them through a broken mic and then cranked the volume to max. And then smoke. Thick, black, suffocating smoke started pouring out of the vents. I'm gonna stop here for now. I know this sounds insane, like movie-level horror stuff, but this is real. I have footage. I'll try to upload it if I make it out. I just needed to get this part out while I still could, because the worst part, right before the smoke filled the room completely, I swear I saw someone. In the mirror. Wearing my hoodie, just smiling. Alright, I'm back. I don't even know how I'm writing this right now. If you're just joining in, go read part 1 first, because none of this is going to make sense if you haven't. I'm writing this from a burner laptop I found, yes, found, inside this place. And I know that sounds like BS, but I swear, every single thing I'm telling you is 100% real. This isn't a story. This is me trying to document what the hell is happening to me before I disappear completely. I don't know how I'm still alive. Let me explain. So when I left off, the smoke was pouring out of the vents, thick, black, chemical-smelling smoke that burned my eyes and throat instantly. I dropped the GoPro. I couldn't see anything, just blinking red light from that creepy mirror camera and this horrible siren that sounded like it was coming from inside my own ears. I was coughing like crazy, trying to feel my way back to the wall where the exit used to be, but my hand hit something cold. Not the door, not the wall, the doorknob, except it wasn't there before. It was on the opposite side of the break room, behind this half-ripped curtain that I hadn't even noticed when I came in. I didn't even think. I just grabbed it and pulled. And behind the door, a staircase, it led down. I know. You're probably thinking, don't go downstairs, right? Like classic horror movie logic. But I couldn't breathe and the smoke was getting worse by the second. My eyes were watering so bad I could barely keep them open, so I just took the stairs. I didn't count how many. It felt like at least 5 stories, all tight concrete steps, no rails, and pitch black, except for these blinking blue emergency lights along the floor. When I got to the bottom, it was dead silent. No more sirens, no more smoke. Just this weird, almost hospital-like hallway stretching out in front of me. Super sterile, too clean to be abandoned. The walls were all white with no windows, and every 20 feet or so there was one of those old metal hospital doors with tiny square windows, except they were all blacked out from the inside, and each one had a number spray-painted on it. Not room numbers, like timestamps. 044401, 044402, 044403. They went up sequentially. I started walking. I didn't know what else to do. I passed maybe 30 doors, all with different time codes. None of them opened. Some of them had scratches on the walls next to the handles. One had fingernails embedded in the metal. Not kidding. Fingernails, real ones. Eventually, I reached the end of the hallway and found another door. This one marked with a completely different kind of label. Live feed room. Do not enter. So naturally I entered. Because I'm a genius, apparently. Inside, it was freezing cold. The room was dark except for a massive wall of old CRT monitors stacked top to bottom. You know, like in old security rooms you'd see in 90s movies. All of them were on. All of them were showing different rooms. Some looked like stairwells. Others looked like bathrooms. One looked like a McDonald's play place. Swear to God, with the plastic tunnels and everything. Another showed what looked like a Starbucks kitchen. I recognized the setup. I used to work there. But the weirdest part, every feed had someone standing still in the center of the screen, not moving, not talking, just staring at the camera. Most of them had their faces blurred or distorted, like a pixelation filter had been burned into the screen, but one of them was me. Standing in the hallway I'd just walked through, same hoodie, same jeans, same shoes, but I wasn't moving. I was just standing there, smiling at the camera. I freaked out, I screamed, I backed away from the monitors, and that's when I noticed a laptop sitting on the desk in the corner. It was already on, already unlocked. The desktop background was a solid red screen with one single folder labeled "Watch Yourself." No joke. I opened it, and inside were dozens of video files, all dated, all recent, all with file names like user 301 suffocation.mp4, user 302 implosion.mp4, user 303 burial.mp4. I didn't click any, I couldn't, but the most recent one, user 317 combustion.mp4, and the thumbnail, a still image of me inside the break room from earlier, fire behind me, my hoodie melting onto my arms, my mouth open like I'm screaming, except I never saw a fire. I never burned. At least I don't think I did. I don't know what this place is. I don't know if it's some sick reality game, some psychological torture lab, or something deeper, something not human. But something's wrong with time here. When I checked the laptop's clock, it said March 22nd, 2026. It's 2025, March 23rd. I came here tonight. I checked my phone and it was completely dead. Just a black screen that felt warm, like it had been overheated for hours. Oh, and that burner laptop I mentioned? It was sitting in the hallway when I left the feed room. Just propped up against the wall. Open. Battery full. Connected to Wi-Fi. I didn't bring it. I don't know who did. I'm still in here. I haven't found an exit. Every hallway leads to another hallway. Every room leads to another door. It's like the building is alive, changing behind me. But the worst part? The part that keeps playing in my head? When I closed the live feed room door, the TV screens flickered for just a second. And the me standing in the hallway? He moved. He looked directly at the camera, raised his hand and waved. Please. If anyone's reading this, if you've heard of Site 17 or that viewpoint link from the dark web, do not interact with it. I don't think this is a game. I think it's a trap. And I think I'm not the only one still down here. Okay? I don't know how long I've been in here. It could be hours, could be days. There's no sunlight, no clocks, and time feels stretchy, like it's lagging, buffering, broken. I'll keep updating this thread as long as this laptop keeps working. It's like my only connection to reality at this point. If you're new, go read part 1 and part 2, trust me. Otherwise, this will just sound like some messed up creepypasta. Except it's not. This is real. And now they know my name. So after I saw the version of me on the security feed wave at the camera, I slammed the live feed room door shut and just ran. I didn't even think about where I was going. I just ran. Hallway after hallway. I think I circled back around the building like 3 times. It doesn't follow any kind of logic, like someone glued together pieces of different places and called it a structure. At one point, I ended up in this corridor that looked like a damn airport terminal, I swear. Same kind of grey and blue carpet, flickering fluorescent lights, and these broken TSA-style gates that led to a row of ancient check-in counters. There were no signs, no logos, but one of the desks had a dusty little brochure holder on it, and inside, stacked perfectly neat, was a pile of Starbucks receipts. Each one had a name printed at the bottom. Customer, my first and last name. Not scribbled in like baristas usually do. No, these were typed. Printed on the receipt like it was embedded in the system. The weird part? They weren't old. The dates were up to the minute accurate. Like one of them said, latte, extra hot, whole milk, 11:48 p.m., March 23rd, 2025. That was the same time I entered this place. I've never ordered that drink in my life. The moment I picked one of the receipts up, the lights in the terminal shut off, like, all at once. Total blackness. I froze. I didn't breathe. I just listened. And I swear, behind the check-in counters, I heard breathing. Slow, gurgling, wet breathing. Then came the footsteps. Not walking, crawling. I turned on my phone flashlight, somehow it powered back on just enough to give me a faint light, and pointed it toward the sound, and then I saw it. Crawling out from behind one of the counters was this thing, I don't know how to describe it. Imagine someone took a person and erased everything that made them look human, no face, just smooth skin where the features should have been. Their arms were too long, legs bent backwards like they'd been broken and reset wrong. And in place of a mouth was one of those old school credit card readers, the kind you swipe, and it was clicking like it was trying to run a card. I didn't wait. I bolted through one of the busted TSA gates and ended up in what looked like a service hallway. You know those creepy back corridors in malls and airports with exposed pipes and old vending machines that no one uses, that kind of vibe? The vending machine caught my eye, though. It was glowing bright red, and the screen on it said, "Dispensing Identity Restoration Kit." Before I could react, the machine made this horrible grinding noise and spat out a manila folder. No snacks, just this folder, like it was preloaded in the damn coils. I picked it up. Inside was a perfect copy of my driver's license. Same photo, same name, same address. But the expiration date, March 23rd, 2025, 11:59 p.m., less than an hour from now. And in red ink across the bottom, someone had stamped "void if seen." I started to panic. I threw the folder and just kept moving. I passed by rooms labeled like offices, personnel, evaluation, void recovery. Most were locked. One had scratch marks all over the inside of the small window, and handprints, like someone was trying to get out, not in. Eventually I reached a room labeled Social Simulation Lab 04, currently active. I opened the door. And I swear to whatever God still listens to people like me, I saw my Instagram feed playing on the walls. Not a feed, my feed. Posts I made, deleted, stories I only saved to archive, DMs I never sent. All of it projected across these massive digital panels. Each photo was tagged with creepy little notes like, "Posted for validation." "Faked smile detected." "Attempted self-erasure on December 11th, 2023. Archived." It was reading me like a report card on my soul. One screen was showing a looped video of me scrolling through TikTok at 3 a.m., just dead-eyed, barely blinking. I didn't even know I'd been recorded. Then another screen glitched and showed me, inside this building, from third person, as if I was being watched from a security cam above me, right then and there. And then the words appeared across all the screens at once. "You are being backed up." I ran again. I don't even remember how I got out of that room. Everything is a blur after that. At some point I stumbled down a metal staircase and ended up in what I swear was a children's birthday room, like a Chuck E. Cheese-style setup. There were dusty plastic balloons taped to the walls, deflated party hats on a table, and a half-melted cake on a tray that had one candle still flickering. Except the cake said, "Happy Recreation Day, my full name." And someone, or something, had taken a bite out of it. I didn't wait to see who. I'm holed up in a janitor's closet now, typing all this out. The laptop must be on some kind of internal network because I have no Wi-Fi options except for one called Viewpoint ObserverNet. It's locked, of course. But I'm still able to post here through some kind of hidden portal on the desktop. It's like this whole building was meant for people like me to document their descent, to write our own horror stories while we're still ourselves. I can hear something scratching outside the door. Not claws, fingernails, they're whispering my name now. They know it. And I think they're trying to figure out how to replace me. Okay. I don't know if I'm writing this to warn you anymore, or just to remind myself that I'm still me. Whoever or whatever is reading this, I hope you're real. I hope I'm not typing into the dark for no one, because this place, it's peeling me apart, literally. I left the janitor's closet after about an hour, or maybe it was 10 minutes, or 3 days. Time is garbage here. That voice, the one whispering my name through the door, stopped after a while. Or maybe it didn't. Maybe I just stopped hearing it. But the door opened on its own, and when I stepped back into the hallway, it wasn't the hallway anymore. It was a Target. Not kidding. A full-on Target store, like red signs, checkout lanes, fluorescent lights. But everything was off. The shelves were fully stocked with items that didn't make sense, like shampoo bottles with no labels, cereal boxes that were just blank cardboard, clothes with every size tag reading "me." And the weirdest part, the store music was playing, but it wasn't music. It was this distorted audio of my own voice reading my old tweets, like some AI had taken every dumb thing I'd ever posted online and turned it into a looped, cheerful little melody. Remember when I tweeted, "LOL, I'd sell my soul for a six-pack and 10,000 followers in 2020? Yeah. So does this place. And the intercom, it crackled to life and announced, "Customer, my full name, your new body is ready in fitting room 6. At that point, I didn't care if it was bait. I wanted answers. So I made my way through the fake Target, passing mannequins dressed in clothes I actually own in real life. I'm talking the exact same Champion hoodie, the same jeans with the ripped knee, the black Vans I wore here, everything. I finally reached the fitting rooms. There were 6. The doors were all closed, but fitting room 6 had a faint, pulsing red light underneath. I pushed the door open slowly. Inside, hanging from a hook, was my skin. Yeah, I know how that sounds. But it wasn't gory, not like a horror movie. It was clean, surgical, a perfect replica of me, just empty. Like someone had 3D printed my outside and left it there like a costume. The back was unzipped. I could see inside. And then a voice spoke from the corner of the room. It's not theft if we leave the original behind. I turned, and standing there was a person. At least I thought it was a person. They looked like me. Almost like 90% me. But just wrong enough that it made my brain short-circuit. The smile was too wide, the eyes didn't blink, and the voice that came out of their mouth sounded like mine, auto-tuned through a speak and spell. They walked toward me slowly. You gave consent when you clicked. You always give consent. No one reads the terms. No one ever does. I backed out of the room, heart pounding. The mannequin copies in the aisles had started moving now, all of them facing me, all of them twitching slightly. One even tried to speak, but its mouth didn't work right. It just made this garbled digital choking sound, like Siri trying to cough. That's when I noticed the security cameras hanging from the ceiling. Every single one was tracking me, turning as I moved. And I swear to God, one of them winked. I started running. Out of the target, down another hallway that hadn't been there before. This one looked like a movie theater, no lie, neon signs, popcorn machines, posters for films I'd never heard of, with names like, You Won't Feel It Until We're Done. Someone Else Is Already You, starring you. Again, one poster had my actual face on it, a perfect high-res photo of me smiling like I'd just won the lottery. Except my eyes were fully black. There was a theatre room at the end. Number 7, doors wide open. I don't know what made me walk in. Curiosity, hopelessness, the need to see how it ends. I sat down in the middle row. There were other people seated too. Or things shaped like people. Their heads were slightly too big. No mouths, just empty, smooth skin where their features should be. And every single one of them was wearing a hoodie, my hoodie. The movie started playing without sound. And it was my life, I'm not even exaggerating, from childhood. Stuff I didn't even remember until I saw it again. Birthday parties, school, random days I spent alone in my room. Hell, it even showed a video of me watching Luna on YouTube at 1 a.m. like a total zombie. The footage was taken from angles that made no sense, like from behind my monitor, inside my phone, over my shoulder, in the car. Then the footage caught up to tonight. Me walking into the warehouse, me finding the mirror room, me getting locked inside. But then it showed something new. It showed me leaving, smiling, calm, getting in my car, driving away, like nothing happened. Then it clicked. They didn't want to kill me, they wanted to replace me. And the real me, the one typing this right now, I'm just the leftover. The version they don't need anymore. A memory on a drive. A trash file waiting to be deleted. I ran out of the theater, barely holding it together. The halls were shifting around me now, glitching like a corrupted video game. 1 minute it was concrete, the next it was hardwood floors from my childhood house, and then it was the back of a local McDonald's I used to work at. Same grease stains, same fry timer beep, everything. They're breaking me down, they're remapping my memories into this place. Soon I won't know what's real anymore. I found this old maintenance room, that's where I am now. There's another laptop here, same weird red interface, same ObserverNet connection. There's no escape button, no map, just one folder. It's labeled Final Format, User 317, replaced. When I clicked it, there was only one thing inside, a voice memo of me saying, I think I died in the fire, and then laughing. Not my laugh, a slightly off version of it, like something learning how to be me. This is it. If you're reading this right now, it means the post went through. It means I'm still here, for now. But I don't think I will be for much longer. So, where did I leave off? Right, the voice memo. The one that sounded like me, but wasn't. I played it at least a dozen times, over and over, trying to catch the exact moment the voice became something else. But that was the thing, it never did. It was me, perfectly me. Every breath, every syllable, every little stutter I do when I'm nervous. The only difference was that version sounded happy, like it got out, like it won. After that, the room went completely dark. Not lights out dark, like void dark. Like I wasn't even in a room anymore. I felt the ground drop out from under me, but I wasn't falling. I was just resetting. When the lights flicked back on, I was in a bedroom. But not just any bedroom, my bedroom. Everything was exactly how I left it the night I went to the warehouse. Same messy desk, same posters, my hoodie on the chair. Even my phone was right there, charging. For a second, I thought it was over. I thought they let me go. But then I looked closer, and I noticed something off. My monitor was on, my Twitch account was open, I was live. But I wasn't sitting in the chair, he was. It was me, again. Same body, same clothes, same little scratch on my wrist from when I tripped hiking last summer. He was just sitting there, smiling into the camera. Chat was blowing up. People were saying stuff like, "Bro's been acting off all week, lol." Anyone else notice how his voice changed? "He hasn't blinked in like 20 minutes. He turned to the webcam and said something I'll never forget. "I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys." Same voice, same tone. But the eyes were hollow. Not like empty sockets. I mean, they were there, physically, but there was nothing behind them. Just glass. Like someone was puppeteering a human suit. And then he smiled at the camera and said, "Let's check out the dark web again." I backed away from the screen, just completely frozen. My brain was trying to reject what I was seeing. I turned around to run out of the room and slammed right into someone standing behind me. Guess who? Me, again. But this one looked burned. His face was melted, hoodie scorched to his skin, one eye was sealed shut with melted flesh, and he whispered, "You let them finish the download." And then everything cracked, not exploded, not shattered, cracked like glass, like I was inside some fragile simulation that had just been dropped. The walls peeled away, my bedroom tore like it was made of paper, and suddenly I wasn't in my house. I was watching my house from the outside. I was back in the warehouse again. Only now I wasn't inside the structure. I was in some kind of control room, looking at rows of screens. Each one showed a different life, different people, each one marked, observed, status, replaced. And there, in the bottom corner, was mine. User 317, status, replaced integration, successful, original file, deletion, scheduled. That's when I saw the fire, not metaphorical fire, real fire. On the monitor, I watched my actual body, my original body, lying on the break room floor, smoke filling the room. The fire had started somewhere behind the vending machine. It spread fast, like it was meant to, and on the screen next to it, a live news report, actual YouTube live stream from some local outlet. Headline, "Body found in abandoned meat packing plant fire. Authorities suspect squatter." And the name they were saying, mine. I watched the whole thing play out. Paramedics dragging a charred body from the ruins. My family sobbing in front of my house. My Instagram being flooded with RIP posts. The version of me they replaced was living my life perfectly. And no one knew, not one person noticed, it wasn't me. I'm writing this from what I think is the last room. The laptop here looks exactly like mine. There's only one thing on the screen. Delete backup. Yes, no, it's counting down. 30 seconds. I don't think I can stop it. I think this is it. But if you're reading this, if you really read all of this, then maybe, just maybe, part of me still made it out. A fragment, a ghost in the system, a backup that didn't delete fast enough. So here's what you need to do. Check your devices. If your webcam turns on by itself, if your own voice starts reading your emails back to you, if you see yourself in reflections where you shouldn't, get out, burn it all. Never click on anything labeled viewpoint. Don't let them finish the download. Don't become like me, or worse, like him.